Hello, my name is Jeff Jamiolo, and today I'm talking about resilience and defiance. Resilience is holding off change until you have no choice and have to change. Defiance is holding off at all costs change. Slightly different. Oddly enough, resilience and defiance, me and the Lord have a disagreement with it. My ex-girlfriend one day told me I was stop being defiant. I'm like, well, okay. Kind of weird. Okay. But actually, I'm not defiant. I'm actually resilient. The Lord calls it resiliency. It must sound better in the heavenly world. I call it defiance. To me, it's just I'm standing my ground no matter what happens. It's just we're doing this. But it's very interesting because both of them actually involve free will. You're just exercising free will to stay and fight at all costs. Resilient, you understand that if I keep fighting this way, it's just not going to work. Which is, technically, resilience is a smarter approach. I have in the past used defiance before. I've actually used resilience a lot more. But it's just difference in definition. It's also quickly related to what hill you're willing to die on. People generally will like to fight and do all kinds of things and at the drop of a hat. And they forget to ask themselves a very simple question. Do I really care about any of this? I'm reminded of a funny, well, it's not so funny story. A girl in my life one day was picking a fight with someone, and after picking a fight with him, he was going to hit her and kind of threw me in there and said, oh, you defend me or something. I'm like, pfft. And the first thing that popped in my head was, why should I defend you? You pissed him off. It's like, you wanted to get hit. Just saying, it's just, what hill are you willing to die on? It's like, people pick the weirdest of hills. Is it that, some people will have an argument over changing the channel of television, or the volume is a little too loud, a little too quiet. They will fight for an hour over that. Is that a hill you're really willing to die on? It's kind of like, okay, well, it's not a life or death situation. It really means nothing. To me, anyway, it means nothing. But for some reason, to some people, it does. And to some, they hear this fight song that fight, 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 fight. It's like, why? I generally do not fight in my relationships. It's not that I don't care about them. If you back me into a corner and you poke me with a stick, I will bark back. But generally, a lot of things are just not important. Whether we go to the store, this store, that store, want to go to your movie, my movie, I don't care. Usually, I believe more in fairness. I want to go see the new Star Wars movie. So I know you don't like Star Wars, so let me go to 2 of your movies, but you have to go to my Star Wars movie. It seems like a pretty good deal to any woman. Just saying. As I said, I'm a pretty fair person. I just don't understand where there's fight, fight, fight. I understand it a little bit because from the fight, fight, fight aspect of it is sometimes you have no choice but to fight. Just in life in general. Here's my options. Surrender. To who? Either you carry on, you fight. Something happens, you get up, dust yourself off, move forward. Forever forward. Say it with me. Forever forward. Like laying down and dying is an option. It's not. No, you could off yourself, but you got karma problems then. Why? It's just very odd that people just You really, a lot of times when you're back to a corner, the only chances you have is to fight. I have a story. A very interesting story. Well, kind of interesting. To help it out. It's called a soldier story. Imagine World War II, Normandy. You're flying over the coast in a plane with some other paratroopers. You hear the droning of the engines. In the background, way in the distance, you hear explosions, real faint explosions. You're like, okay, your heart's beating a little bit. Oh, that's okay. It's okay, man. It's not us, man. We're good. We're good. We're good. We've been training for this. You got that Defiance going. Oh, no, weirder stuff starts happening now. It starts getting louder. Person next to you just threw up. Oh. You're starting to freak out a little bit, then you calm down like, okay, it's all right. Then you start really hearing noises, like you hear like things flying through the plane. Your choice. Do I panic and fear right now? Or do I accept life as is? Say, hey, safest place for me is not in this plane. I'll take my chances. That is what fighting is. Move on. Take the next chance. Okay, so you start to get up. People you keep hearing this thing. You calm down. Next part of the mission. Doesn't matter what the big mission is. It is you getting out of that plane. The green light pops up. It's your turn. You jump out of there like the Dickens. Air's flying past you. You're thankful. Thank you. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, universe. Thank you, everyone, that I made it out of that plane. It wasn't going to kill me. Now you got a different set of problems. Is my shoe going to open up? Am I going to get hit by something? Am I going to get hit by a piece of a plane that's going to hit me? Regardless, you accept it. You come to peace. Next point of acceptance, we move on. Magically, you land safely on the ground. Don't break your legs or anything. Like, yes. For the first second, you get to relax a moment because you're kind of safe. Kind of safe. Maybe. Technically not really because you're surrounded by enemy all around you. But you still are there and it's in a different position. At this point, it's now on you to do what you need to do. But each of those chances that you took, you had to take. You had no choice. If you would have stayed in the plane, you probably would have died. There was a statistic. I think it was 4 or 5 people who were in the paratroopers actually died in the plane. Died like just heart attack. Died. Just the trauma of hearing the noise. So they died before they even got out of the plane. How many? Probably a good 100 died before they hit the ground, if not more. Parachute didn't open up. So be thankful. Be thankful for what you got. But that's also resilience. Resilience is coming back and saying, okay, what do I do now? In a way, you could say that I really wish more people would develop a skill. And the skill is the ability to land on a map somewhere and find your way out. Of not knowing anything. I think they call it dead reckoning now. But it's the ability to go over and be lost but find your way out. Using just simple logic. Ignoring map-wise, just in life. Because people don't. People want to ask other people, what do you want to do? I don't know. I've learned that when I ask people, I generally don't get a real good answer. I ask myself, it may take a little longer. My spirit team eventually comes over and says, psst, go over there. Okay. And then all of a sudden it starts to click and we move on my way. I generally don't listen to a lot of people. Actually, I'd beware of people because they're real troubling. There's a lot of nasty in people sometimes. There's a lot of good, there's a lot of nasty. People get envious. People have hatred. People do spell work on you. Just because you think you're Christian, think you're exempt from spell work? Hello. Here's what's really twisted about it. From a spell work perspective, From a spell work perspective, watch yourself, because there's Christians out there that read Psalms as spells against people, and those are Christians. And it's the Bible. You can do I am affirmations in a mirror with a picture of someone you don't like and say, I am fat, I am this, looking at that picture. That's a spell. It's called mirror magic. Pay attention. You think people aren't doing it to you? Usually God is actually really, really good, and that God will keep you protected, but God will let it bleed through just so you see that's happening to you. I know, baby. And Nikita says hello. Sorry about that. Generally, I'm very skeptical of people because a lot of times they're actually really nice to your face, but say total trash behind your back. Shame. It could be because I hang out with the wrong people, as people like to tell me. I go, but truth be told, I'd rather take two real good friends, than a horde of people who I think are friends. Because my friends are loyal. They're safe. I want to ask you today, think about something. Think about you if you were back in World War II in that plane. What would you do? Would you panic? Would you come to acceptance? Because in life, there's a lot of times, a lot of circumstances we can't fend off. Sometimes it's a time to regroup, which is what resilience is. It's when you know you can't win, you move on. And usually the Lord will tell you when it's time to move on. Resilience is over. But there's some people who are defiant. We're back to sometimes the Lord has people test other people. It's supposed to be a fair period of time, say 2 years, you're supposed to test you. But they enjoyed it real lot. Yay, they were obsessed with you. And they did it for 7 or 8. You don't think they're going to get bad karma for that? You are crazy if you think that it's not going to get bad karma for that. Because you were in defiance of God. Matter of fact, you probably created yourself a nice generational curse. But, as I said before, if you're in that plane, what would you do? It's always one step ahead. There's never a plan. Matter of fact, I heard something online that made me laugh so much. It is so true. God loves a great plan. He loves destroying them, because you can plan your entire life out. It's not going to work that way, because there's no tests in what you do. So I hope this helps you. I would recommend a lot more people be resilient. I would actually have a lot more people choose what hill wisely that you want to die on. Because, to be honest with you, if you told me that, hey, this friend over here, if I was to die with him on that hill, I'd say no way. And some people I would say yes. Just be careful which one you pick. Because not all friends and people are created equal. Have a great day.